Point guard to the tune of 1 year, $31 million. Kyle Lowry originally signed a 3-year, $93 million deal a couple of seasons back. The deal makes Lowry an unrestricted free agent in the summer of 2021. Of course, the numbers don't lie. The last 5 seasons, you can see he had a career high in points. The assist numbers are up to par, especially this past season where he's one of the top 5 in assists per game. Of course, the championship, which just put the cherry on top for Kyle Lowry. So, of course, now the expectations for the defending champions, we have to throw that out here. Everybody in Toronto is in their feelings and upset with you because you said during the team preview that they weren't going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I need to see more role before I put them back in the playoffs. And also, we should have another category for Kyle Lowry for toughness and leadership.
No doubt.
Because sometimes those numbers get a little skewed because we would think the numbers should say everything who you are. But I go back to him, Messiah brought him to Toronto. A lot of people were worried, is he that kind of guy to build around? So he's proved that. So Toronto, yes, be mad at me now, but let's have this conversation around January. And is Spicy P, is he that guy now? I love Spicy P. I love Siakam. Is he going to get that new contract? Is he going to be the guy that fills Kawhi Leonard's shoes? I don't know. Ro.
Well, does he have the ceiling? Does he have the potential to do it?
I love what I've seen the last couple of years. There's no question there. But you're telling me Spicy P is going to fill in the shoes of what Kawhi Leonard did? You're telling me, as much as we love Kyle Lowry, now Kyle has to play bigger than he has the last couple of years because there is no go-to guy. That remains to be seen. Yes, those 20-some odd games they missed, they were 17-5, 17-4. It looked great. But now we're asking these role players to do it from day one, all season long, and go into the playoffs. So Raptor fans, I'm not just doubting and hating on you. I just want to see more first before I say this team has enough. Marcus Gasol and all that good stuff, Ibaka. They lose Danny Green, their best two-way player. So that's why I'm a little hard on them right now until I see what they have left. Are they ready to take their roles to a different level?
Of course, the last team to win a championship and then miss the playoffs the following season was the 99 Bulls. As we take a look at the depth chart.
I like this team.
I mean, the team is nice.
Like it.
OG Anunoby is back and healthy. He was at the Kobe Bryant Mamba camp, so clearly Kobe sees something in him. A very strong lineup, but you still don't think that they're going to qualify for the postseason?
Nope, not right now. Today I don't. I'm sorry, Raptor fans.
What about Nick Nurse and his coaching ability? You don't think he has enough to push them over the top?
I love Nick Nurse, and Nick Nurse understands that you need talent to win. You cannot just give a great scheme and a great defensive scheme and think you're going to stop someone every night. All the Nets, Philly, there's so many different teams in the East have gotten better. I understand when people say, the East is wide open. Yes, it is, but other teams have gotten a little bit better when they lost arguably the best two-way player walking in tennis shoes. That's why I'm a little hesitant to put them in the mix.
All right, Raptor fans, you heard what he said. Just be patient. We're going to see what happens. You say no to the preseason row in 3D camp. Markelle Fultz back at it. Taking on Detroit basketball. Hey.
Confidence.
Hey, glad you guys are here with us. I'm joined by Hall of Famer Kevin McHale, who also happens to be a 3-time NBA champ with the Boston Celtics, and Dennis Scott, shooter from distance.
Leave it.
Excellent. Glad you guys are here. I've been waiting to do this with you, Kevin, because obviously it's the Celtics. So we're going to just dive right in. We talked a little bit. Kemba, Kyrie, which one's better? Is it an upgrade? Is it not? What's going to happen? Well, here's a side-by-side comparison. Their league rankings in these categories from last season. It looks glaring when you look at it this way.
Yeah, but you look at that last statistic right there. Who is more efficient in games and helped you win more? Kyrie Irving is a tremendous player. Don't get me wrong; it didn't work in Boston. Now you can say all you want about why it didn't work. It did not work there, and it was funky last year. It was funky from the start, and it was funky at the finish, and nothing changed in that thing. So, is Kemba going to be a better fit? Maybe. But I'm a big Kyrie fan, but it did not work there for whatever reason. And we'll discuss the reasons later. But a good pickup by Danny getting Kemba after they lost Kyrie.
Well, Kemba Walker told our own Kristen Ledlow on why he chose the Celtics. Let's listen.
The organization itself, one of the best ever. So many championships. And, I think when everybody thinks of, the Boston Celtics, they think of, a winning culture, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to be a part of a consistent winning culture, and that's what I wanted to be a part of. Something really special, and Boston is perfect. It's a sports town. They love basketball. The fans love guys who compete each and every night, and I just think I fit perfect with that mold. So, I'm excited to finally get things started and get it rolling in here in Boston.
Well, you heard Kemba Walker talk about the winning tradition, right, of the Celtics and how he hasn't been able to experience that. So I went and looked up some numbers. Kemba Walker as a player against the Boston Celtics, for his career, he was 9-20. Last 3 seasons, all 3 All-Star years for Kemba Walker, he was only 2-9 against the Celtics. Do you think he's excited to wear the green now?
Oh, yes, he's super excited. He hit it right on the head because he's always been on the losing end because when you're the best player, K-Mac, you're going out every night, being an all-star. Kemba felt like he was by himself with the Hornets. Now he's coming to a winning tradition. He has Brown and Tatum. Hopefully Gordon Hayward can get back to his, top-notch basketball ways we know he can be. And Kemba's saying, finally, I'm bringing some more talent to the war with me to try to win more ball games. So he's super excited to be in a winning culture and a winning franchise.
As good as Kyrie Irving was, or still is as a player, Kevin, is this an upgrade when you add Kemba Walker to that locker room?
Oof, time will tell. If you just look at it from just a strict talent standpoint, I would say no. And I like Kemba Walker, but Kyrie Irving is special. But, man, it did not work. I can keep on telling you, it didn't work. So you can get into why it didn't work. That's like 2 people get married, and you say, what a perfect marriage. And a year later, they're divorced and they hate each other. This one looked like a perfect marriage. It wasn't a perfect marriage. And it didn't work. So is it an upgrade? It's hard to say. I want to see Kemba out there with Brown, with Tatum, with Hayward, with all these guys and how they mesh, because they've got a lot of similar players that we'll talk about later as far as when you talk about not just Kemba, but about the Celtics in general.
I think it's a different style, Steph. Now when you walk in that locker room, people are going to see the glaring difference. Because let's face it, Kyrie come in there being a champion and all those type of things and figure like, I'm going to help you guys get to where you need to be. Well, that leadership's different, where Kemba's going to come in and say, guys, how are we going to win together? How are we going to get to the next level? Yeah. And I think that's what the Celtics see right away.
So you might say the chemistry's better, but is it going to equate to wins on the floor?
Right.
That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Like you can have a bunch of guys that love each other, and they might suck. So it just doesn't matter. You got to win basketball games. And so there's a lot of wait and see for the Celtics team this year for me.
I've always felt that chemistry is one of the more underrated components of a successful team. So we'll find out. It may not be an upgrade talent or skill-wise, but I think the locker room impact will show and tell the long-term story. All right, let's see who else they've got on tap. This roster for the Celtics is loaded, as we know. Jason Tatum, not going to miss him. That's the title. Will he or won't he? These are numbers with and without Kyrie Irving from last season. What jumps out at you?
How many of those games did they win? That's what jumps out at me, because, you got to try to win basketball games. And at the end of the day, Tatum's a really good player, and he's got to take a big jump. Last year was kind of a disappointing year. I thought Tatum took too many bad shots last year. I'll just be honest with you. He took so many damn contested fadeaway shots from 18 feet with 12 or 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Those are the shots you take with 3 seconds on the shot clock because you have to get a shot up.
Right.
He took too many tough shots. His ability to go somewhere with the dribble was better than I thought it was when he came out. And he's got to get back to doing that and being more efficient. If you're going to be a top player on a championship caliber team, you had better be efficient. You couldn't be what he was last year. I know that. So Tatum's got to improve.
I agree with you, K-Mac. And I put more pressure on Brad Stevens in this situation now, because you got a guy likes to put the ball on the floor. Jaylen Brown likes to put the ball on the floor. Kyrie likes to put the ball on the floor. Kemba likes to put the ball on the floor, too. So which one of these guys are willing to sacrifice their game and say, you know what? Situation, I got to be a catch-and-shoot guy because my other 2 guys are putting the ball on the floor. Now, how's the defense going to stretch if nobody's knocking down jump shots? So to your point, K-Mac, Tatum, we know you can put the ball on the floor, but sometimes give the ball up, let someone else create, and you be ready to catch and shoot. I think it makes the team better.
Playing off the catch is such a huge thing. They all play off the dribble. But here's the difference. Off the catch, as the ball comes to me, I'm immediately going to shoot, I'm going to drive, or I'm going to swing it to you.
Right.
They dribble the ball between their legs and go backwards. 4 of the guys do. I'm like, ugh. That is like the worst thing you can do. And I'm not sure where that drives me bananas. That is the worst thing you can do. And they got a boatload of guys that do that. Brad Stevens is going to have a practice where, hey, look, fellas, nobody's going through their legs backwards when they catch the ball. Everything is downhill. Everything is catch and shoot. Everything is playing off the catch. Don't play off the dribble. You mentioned the 4 guys that play off the dribble. Ooh. All right.
Well, Jason Tatum is probably due for a breakout season. We all were expecting it to be his sophomore year because of how he played in the playoffs after his first year. He did play on Team USA, suffered that injury early on, but I still feel like that experience could be impactful, having the experience of playing for Coach Popovich, being around other great players. Yeah. How will that affect his game for this season?
I think it should elevate his game, Steph, along with his confidence. But once again, and Brad, you know how much I love you, but it's still put on Brad to make sure he's in good situations. Jason, I'm getting you off the wing. I'm putting you in the post these next 4 possessions. Yeah. Now you're going to attack that foreman. There's not too many big forwards that's going to be able to stay in front of him. Right. So now I say, Coach, put this young man in better situations so he can be successful and be more efficient, to your point, K-Mac.
I'd like to see him find some spots on the floor that are his spots. Like, I'll go back to Kawhi Leonard, okay? Kawhi Leonard got the ball. Who was ever guarding him? He had a smaller guy. He took 2 dribbles, got between the dotted line and the free throw line, rose up, knocked it down. He got to his spot off the dribble, and he took the shots he wanted to take. I see Jason Tatum taking too many shots the defense wants him to take. He didn't. As he shot those shots, I'm going, good defense. Right. As a defender, you're saying, I'm getting this guy to take bad shots. He's got to get spots on the floor, and Brad can help him, where he's going to get his shot. And he's going to go to a spot, rise up, and shoot the ball. He can go by big guys. He can shoot over smaller guys. He's got a unique skill set. But again, it gets back to efficiency. You got to be way more efficient. And you're right. He needs spots on the floor where you can get him the ball and say, go to work.